had had enough.
Well, you drove out there into the middle of nowhere and had some sort of loud verbal display challenging ET in general out in the middle of nowhere?
That's what I was doing. I actually had a pistol in my hand at the time. I was really ticked off. When I was having this fit, I was waving the gun in the air, okay, and I had this fit. And at this moment, I said, okay.
He was a Louisiana man named Montaldo. Folks around called him Six Gun Joe. Worked with ICAR, don't you know? Investigating UFOs. Out for a drive with a gal one night, they stopped to check out the reporting site. When an alien lit right there on the ground, he commenced to throwing his weight around. Now, old Six Gun didn't take too kindly to that kind of thing, especially without Vaseline or anything like that, Seriously. Well, Six Gun looked that critter right in the eye and said, "Any last wish before you die?" He yelled, reached for his gun, quick as a twitch, and said, "Fill your claw, you son of a bitch." Now a legend spread across the land about this pistol-waving man. But if you're from space or from Earth below, you don't give no lip to Six Gun Joe.
Welcome to the Outer Realm with Michelle DeRoche and Amelia Pisano. Airing live on the United Public Radio Network, 105.3 FM in New Orleans.
Welcome to Paranormal Heart Podcast with host Kat Ward.
Hey, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Tuesday night edition of UPRN Talk Radio, 105.3 Mississippi, 107.7 New Orleans. How is everybody tonight? Heidi, good evening to you. Yes, I got that Six Gun Joe in on UPRN tonight, right? The Outer Realm that was on earlier, the Gateway Podcast, CL's, Paranormal Heart, that's Cats, and the Pittsburgh Paranormal Society. Those are all the shows on today. Speaking of CL, her podcast is coming up right after mine. It's called the Gateway Podcast. And her guest tonight is James Anito. And to talk about the psychological dimensions, I think, of the paranormal. I'm not sure. So after you know the drill. Okay. Oh God, great minds think alike there, Heidi. Hey, Miss Cryptids, I'm sorry I forgot your name, but once I find out. Oh, Jessica. Hi, Jessica. How are you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for popping in. Thank you, Heidi, for telling me her name. Sally says I need magic to help me if anyone is available. um, so CL's podcast, the Gateway podcast, her guest tonight is James Anito, the psychological dimension, I do believe, paranormal. So you know the drill. After my show, just go over to her show and give her some love. It's going to sound pretty interesting. But tonight, I'm going to do my editorial. It's going to be small, okay? And it's not of paranormal, and it's not of UFOs, and it's not of Bigfoot, all that stuff. My editorial tonight is why can't we all be nice, okay? Or why do we have to talk down or talk bad about a person who has died? I mean, for instance, Charlie Kirk, he passed away. He got assassinated. Yes, he did 2 or 3 days ago. All right. And right after that happened, there was a lot of people that really said some bad things about the man. And they got fired from their jobs. But that's not really what I want to talk about. What I really want to talk about, why can't we say something nice? Even though you disagreed with a person who has passed, why do you have to be so negative about, glad that he's dead, or, he deserved it, or all kinds of other bullshit out there, that is pretty bad. And to me, I can't think of a name about those people. Assholes, whatever, I don't know. But this is America, and it is the freedom of choice and freedom of speech. Okay, we do got that. But to cut a person down after he died because he got assassinated, folks, we have to wake up. Okay, we seriously need to wake up and see what the hell we are saying. And the people who are saying this shit were very important people. When they go around and broadcasting that they're glad he's dead. Bullshit. You don't do that. No, you just don't do that. I'm old, okay? I'm old. My God, we were raised not to do that crap. We weren't. Jessica says, I was shocked by how many close friends I had that were saying those things. Me too. Me too, Jessica. Sally said, yep, this is all I talk about anymore. We have to change so much and immediately. We do. Can't we all, just for one day, be nice? Be nice to somebody. Don't make fun of them. Don't be happy that they're dead and broadcast it all over the universe. One day. But I guess people will never learn. I guess we will never, ever learn. Like I said before, you really don't need to agree for what he said, okay? You don't need to agree. But on the other hand, you do not disrespect him dying or being killed. Daniel Grant Wilkes, magic and technology indiscussable. Yeah. So tonight my topic is on magic. Okay. Do we need magic in our everyday life to get the upper hand of life? And does magic scare you? So magic is broadly defined as the use of beliefs, rituals, or actions to manipulate natural or supernatural forces, whether for personal gain, harm, healing, spiritual transformation, or entertainment. In a literal sense, such supernatural manipulation is considered part of folklore and fiction. While in the metaphorical sense, the term can refer to the skillful performance of illusions that seem to defy explanations. Joe says, I want to bomb so many Facebook friends because of what they post. They are not even driving the vision and don't even realize it. True. And Daniel says, can't tell the difference when technology is involved. Jessica said, it's like the old motto. I disapprove of what you say, but I will defend to the death your right to say it. That's what the whole First Amendment was for, and people shouldn't choose violence. Hate first. So true, Jessica. Thank you for sharing that. But I don't know. I'm kind of leery on magic. Okay, I am. Kind of leery on it. I know a lot of people who perform magic spells. What do you need a magic spell for? To find love? To hit the lottery? For personal gains? Why do you need it? Do you think it's fair for people to go out and bust their ass to get where they need to be and get whatever they want? To get what they want? Or do you just sit back and burn candles and throw incense or flowers or any type of herb in there to get what you want? I mean, are people really, really desperate for magic? Quantum energy is a key. Yes, absolutely, Daniel. So I'm just like dumbfounded. I really, really am like tongue-tied here. I sure as hell don't need it. Okay. Why would I want to defy? Daniel says, if you can dream it, you will create it. And that is true. And I know a couple people who have done it. But you know, you can dream all you want, Daniel. You can, and yeah, you could probably create it, but you're going to go out and, you know, take care of yourself first? Are you going to go out and get a job and make some money? Or just sit back and keep dreaming that you're going to get it? At one point in time, I dreamed to hit the lottery one time, and I never did hit the lottery. I dreamed I dreamed that I would find somebody to be part of my life, so I can love and they can love me back. You know, I didn't realize it, but I got my son. So that was the whole thing, with someone to love me, and I can love back. So he did it. Daniel says, no, you already have it. Correct. My son. And so that, you know, that I guess that wish was granted to me, or yeah, I would call it a wish. But I am not going to go to people who claim they can do magic spells and put it on people so you can fall in love, or you can get a lot of money, or whatever you wish for. You can go out. You go out and you pay people to do this for you. And see, to me, it's kind of crazy because, like Daniel said over here, you know, it's all about the intentions. It's all about your energies that you put into it. So why would you go to somebody to do your intentions? Why? Why would you do that? When the intention is for you. To me, no wonder it don't work. Joe Fox says, I believe in magic, and I believe it is much needed in this life. Love bought is love that is not. True, true. Joe, why do we need it in this life? Can you explain why? I can't see it. See, to me, maybe like way off in right field, shit like that. But I don't believe that we need magic in this life. I believe that everything has been set in stone for us. Set in stone. Before we were born, we were put in a book, and this is how our life was going to be. You know what I mean? But let me ask you guys a question on this. So if you do a magic spell, are you not interrupting the energy that is out there? Sally says, I believe in manifesting a lotto winning to hope open homeless shelters. We need them here, Sean. There is not enough help for people. Magic might be the key. Thank you for sharing that. Daniel says, yes, be specific in your plans and they will be created. Nothing is set in stone. And Sally says, we can shift it, but not enough people care. And Sally hit it right on the button. It just, I don't know. It to me, it's a really, really it's a really bad situation to do magic. Okay, it really is. If you can dream it, it can only take one to become many. So true, Daniel. Now, in fiction and folklore, power and transformation, magic often grants characters the ability to reshape the world or themselves, breaking the laws of the physical world through supernatural means. Oh, okay, Joe. And I see what your point is too. And to me, as you know, Joe, that I no judge on what you see. And this is why my chat room is wide open. You can talk about whatever you want to talk about. And if you disagree with what I disagree, it's okay. Jessica says, I believe in each person carries their own magic and it shapes their way in life, even without some of them knowing they are doing it. I like that, Jessica. I like that. That's pretty cool. If you dream negative, that is what you will create. Daniel said that. But you know what? Yeah, it's true. But there is so much damn negative out there. You don't even have to create it. It's already there. And we have many shows on negative energies out there. And what it does with negative people, how negative people put out that negative energy out there. And it really destroys the world. It destroys the universe. I mean, sometimes I think all the dark and bad energy that's out there in the world today, out in the universe, in the world today, I do not think atom bombs can penetrate it, dude. I really don't believe that. Joe says, I am a dreamer and dreamers believe in magic. Love to me here on earth is magical. Ah, you know what? That's so cool, Joe. I'm glad that you said that. I've dreamt so many things in my entire life, dude. My God, you should see me at work. It's all I do is dream. Heidi says, listening and out in the yard garden magic is literally all around me. I just have to look for it. Once you see it, it's everywhere. Thank you for sharing that, Heidi. Daniel says, magic is using quantum energy transmuting into the force of creation. Wow. Thank you for sharing that, Daniel. But you know what? Honestly, I really need to understand what you said. If you could actually put that into layman's terms, I could, better understand, what you're saying there, buddy. Sally says, Heidi, yep, but so many refuse to look. Okay, so Sally says many refuse to look. Do you think they refuse it? Or if they actually see it, they don't understand it? Do you see where I'm getting at, Sally? Maybe everything has just happened. So, I mean, everything they touched fell apart. Thank you, Daniel. Daniel said, dark exists in contrast to light. Hey, Sherry, good to see you. Hey, Sherry, have you seen any mooses lately? Just want to know, buddy. Darkness is light. Thank you, Daniel. But do people actually go out and look for the magic? A lot of people will say, oh my gosh, look at that. I planted tomato seeds and I got so many tomatoes. Now, planting a seed, a vegetable seed, and with it growing and having the vegetables, the fruits on, that eventually bloom, would you all consider that magic? Heidi says, some are so wrapped up in the mundaneness. Yeah. Daniel says it is present all around you. But do you think the seed of a fruit is magic when it grows? Do you think it's magic if a raven or any type of bird comes and sits in front of you and starts talking to you? And, and you understand what the bird is saying? Sure goes, bah, ha, ha. The next one I see, I'll take a picture. You better. I mean, we're talking mooses. This is an inside thing with me and Sherry about moose. Do you think that's magic about the birds? Or a tree growing or a flower growing? Do you think that is magic? Or is that just natural? If you want my honest opinion, it's both. Both worlds. Yes, it is magic that it does bloom. It does grow and bloom. Joe Fox says, not magic, but definitely divine intelligence. Joe, what is divine intelligence? And I'm not mocking you, dude. You're my best friend. So what is divine intelligence? Heidi says, I love the love, caring, nurturing energy I put into the seed. Carries on till harvest and regrowth. Sherry says, I agree. There's a bit of both. Hey, listen, everybody. If I don't get to your comments, I'm so sorry. Because I might be, talking here and looking over. Like Jessica says, I consider cooking and baking magic. Also, your energy moves into the food while you make it. So your state of mind matters. If you're feeling angry or rushed, the meal may carry that over. That's pretty interesting, Jessica, because I tell you what, I love to cook and I love to bake. I really, really do. And whenever I'm not in a good mood, I do cook, and I do cook a lot, and I do bake a lot. And I ended up giving it away. And you know what? That's okay, because I feel that I am contributing to other people's, because they like what I cook, because I'm a good cook. Sally says, if you want my honest opinion, life is a video game with cheat codes. We can use it if we find them or find the right people. Okay. And so Jessica, if you're cooking and baking, I do it too. But all in all, if you really want to know how I feel about it, okay, it is magic. It is magic for the bird to come to you and talk to you. It is magic if you plant a tomato seed and it grows into an abundance of tomatoes. And I totally agree that magic does exist, but in different ways. Well, let me ask you all this question here. Since both of us are into the metaphysical world, that we are very empathic, do you think that, let me see how I'm going to phrase this without getting in trouble. Do you think we can actually see the magic happen around us and understand what's happening around us? I do. I do believe that. I expectantly do that. Jessica says, I love to cook and bake for people. It's a bit of magic for people to feel love from your food. Awesome, Jessica. And that's how I feel. That's how I feel. Heidi says, I won't make my salt herb flour mix I use around the house. I'm not into the right mind of space. Hey, Donna, glad to meet you, honey. Good to see you. Good to see you. Welcome. Joe said, awesome topic again tonight, Sean. Thank you, buddy. And Daniel says, yes, experience has already made that so. But whatever you want to call it, magic or it just happens, that's your choice. But to me, it's magic. And I'm okay with it. But like Heidi said, she won't get nothing from her kitchen. I won't get nothing. I won't pay anybody to do a magic spell for me. I just let it happen. Hey, Michelle, good to see you. To me, burning sage is magic. To me, and that's cool. If burning sage makes it magic to you, that's great. Could be. I don't like to burn sage, and that's what I love about America is that you can have a good conversation and not judge each other. Plot advancement. In a fantasy story, magic can serve as a power source for heroes or opponents, helping to drive the narrative and influence events. A mirror of society, magic can reflect the hopes, the fears, and the attitudes of a society, providing an escape from reality during times of turmoil. So look at the turmoil we are all in today. Do we use magic to get away from it? Do we try to influence events with our magic? So what we just discussed in the last 5 minutes or so, it was all just said here in this paragraph. Joe Fox says, protective salt borders around your most beloved spaces. Yes, Joe. But there's a secret behind that, Joe. You need to get rid of all the negative energy that is in that beloved spaces before you can actually put the salt around it to keep the bad energy out. And but you know what? It's going to be okay. But it's at the bottom of the hour. My show's only an hour long right now. So I'm going to go and do a 2-minute break, and then I'll be back for the second part of the show. So if you have to go have a cigarette, do what you got to do, get a drink of coffee or something, go for it, And I'll be back in 2 minutes so we can discuss further. So, where do we go from here? We'll go here.
Welcome to Paranormal Heart Podcast with host Cat Ward.
The night has come, it's cold and losing my control. Your light is gone, and lonely darkness fill my soul. I wish that you could save me from my isolation. It's way too complicated. Let's start this conversation. Let's start this conversation. We got no relation.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the second part of Into the Night with me, your host, Sean Kelly. I want to thank you, PRN Talk Radio, 105.3 Mississippi, 107.7 New Orleans. And, of course, hey, Joni McCullough, that's okay. You're allowed to be late, honey. And also, remember, at 9:15 tonight, my dear friend, my co-host, C.L. Thomas, her podcast is on tonight. It's called the Gateway Podcast. And tonight's guest is James and Anito. They're going to talk about the psychological dimension of the paranormal, I do believe, yes. So, you know the drill. After my show, jump over to CL's to give her some loving. You know, first half we were talking about magic. Is it good magic? Is it bad magic? Do we need magic in our everyday lives? All kinds of stuff. And I got a lot of good responses in the chat room. And I want to thank every single one who responded in the chat room on their feelings of magic. And that's what I like, to have a nice open conversation. You know, just think about it, man. This thought came into my brain. You know, instead of this screen on the computers, you know, just in the right side of your mind, you know, just imagine we're sitting around a campfire and we're having coffee and tea or whatever you drink, and we're talking about this stuff. This is how I feel. This is how I feel when I'm on my shows on Sundays and Tuesday nights, when I'm with my people here. You know, the only thing is there's only one rule. One rule. And you better tell this to Vet Girl, if anybody sees her. Just tell her straight out, no pumpkin spice stuff. No pumpkin spice. That's a no-no there. Pumpkin spice. No. But so in the second part, you know, according to Jessica says, I think what you do with your podcast is magic, bringing everyone together. Thank you, Jessica. I really mean that. Thank you. Thank you very much. That hit my heart. Thank you. That's nice. So in the second part, we're going to talk about the magic in real world beliefs and practices. Okay, I'll go with apple cinnamon. Okay, I can do that. Apple cinnamon. That's not bad, but that pumpkin spice stuff got to go, man. Whoever invented that. But now we're going to talk about magic. Thank God for AI. As I tell you every week, that when I come up with a topic, I go to AI. And thank God, because it really helps me out to talk to you. But we're going to talk about in real, REAL, world beliefs and practices of magic. Spiritual transformation. For some practitioners, magic serves to change the individual's consciousness, leading to personal growth and empowerment. Now, see, I can understand the personal growth. Johnny. That's okay. If y'all like pumpkin spice, go with the pumpkin spice. It's all right by me. I'll give in. You are my angel, so go ahead. Not a problem. But, spirit, personal growth, and empowerment. Personal growth, I can see. If you want to use it for something good. Okay. But when it comes to empowerment, I mean, you can take that word and you can kind of take that different ways. Do you want to be out there empowering, that you're strong, you are this person. Look at me. I got this, I got that. I could tell you what to do, blah, blah, blah. Do they expect magic to make them that strong? When they know, and they know that they have it within their hearts, that they can do that without the magic. So the only thing I disagree with that is the word empowerment. Oh, welcome back here, Miss Heidi. It's okay to be delayed. We're allowed to be delayed. No. So to me, the empowerment word got to go out of that little definition because I can't see that happening. If you can't do it on your own, you need something. And I would call, as I keep talking here, I would actually think magic would be a crutch. What do you think? What do you guys think? I think it would be a crutch for you. We went out and I was young. I worked for what I have right now. And I didn't use magic to get to where I am now. Oh, just popped into my brain. Is it possible having faith into something or somebody, could that be magic? Think about it. Having faith in something that you believe in. And all of a sudden you got that faith and everything is happening and it's all good. You're feeling good. Nothing can go wrong. Everything's working out right. Joni says, sure, definitely. Maybe that is magic. Maybe if it is that you believe in Buddha, Catholicism, God, Jesus, the Dalai Lama, whoever, and if it's bringing you a peace of mind, this sure as hell can be magic. Should be. It could be. But like Heidi said earlier, people are so mundane to listen to that. Sally says, have you ever had a prayer answered? I have stories. Too much to type here, though. Maybe, Sally, you'd like to come on the show and we can talk about it. And yes, my prayers were answered. They were. But to me, at first, when I would pray for things and answers, I would just pray. It's like all me. This, Lord help me, Lord this, Lord that, Lord that, Lord that. And nothing was happening. Okay. But once when I got humble and I started to say, well, only in your time, if you could help me make this happen, then let it happen. But only in your time. Then the stuff happened, then the answers came. And they have to be legitimate things. Not like I want a boyfriend, I want a girlfriend, I want to have a lot of money. That those are not, to me, and you know what, when I say it, I those are not good things. I did that myself a long time ago. So it's not like I'm ridiculing anybody. It's not like I'm putting them down when I say that, because I did exactly the same thing. I prayed for all that and nothing happened. Joe says, could divine intervention be considered magic? You know what? That possibility. It definitely could be. Think about it, right? When divine intervention comes in, it could be angels or, something that's going to stop and like protect you at all costs. Of course, it can be. It could be magic. Maybe not. But to me, it would be magic. Yes. I mean, if you're a good person and they see that you're being a good person and they think you're getting a raw deal or something really bad's going to happen, or you're not allowed to leave this earth because you're on a certain path, of course, divine intervention is going to kick in. By asking for help. What do you think, Joe? If you ask for help, is that divine intervention? And they come in and they protect you? Joni says, I pray to God to send me someone who would love me for me, and it happened. And that's great, Joni, because you have a good heart, girl. You have a good heart. You have a good heart. You're a good person. And that's why God did that for you. He sent you somebody. And what do you say? You're still married for 34 years? Congratulations. God bless you. In real world beliefs and practices, achieving goals, magic can be used with a focused intention to acquire knowledge, love, or wealth, or to achieve success in endeavors. Again, getting back what I said in the first part of the show, you're just going to sit on your ass and just keep doing magic to get what you want? I wasn't bored last night in the dark. You have to go out and work for what you need. You work for your love. You work for your wealth. Not sit on your ass and say, okay, here's, a couple candles I lit and a couple of this and a couple of that, type of, I forget. I can't even think of the names. Like, I don't know why, but if anybody knows why nutmeg came into my head, I don't know. It just did, and it's just like staying there right now. Sally says, you ever feel compelled to talk to a stranger and then quickly realize you could be great friends? Oh, yes, all the time. All the time. Literally just happened to me this afternoon. We both said it was intended by the universe. Yes, I believe that. I believe that wholeheartedly. That happens to me a lot too. And and when that situation comes, it just comes right out of the blue. Right out of the blue. And I think that's great. Is the universe magical? Could be. I'm sure maybe a little bit of it is. Raylene, hey, Raylene, it's a pumpkin spice. Thank you, dear. Nutmeg, oh my God. Oh God, pumpkin spice, oh my God. I don't like that, but okay, that's why I got nutmeg. Maybe Spirit's trying to say something here, Sean. Maybe he's starting to say, you know what, why don't you start using some nutmeg and starting to learn pumpkin spice. Healing and protection. Some magical practices aim to ward off illness, danger, or harm, while others seek to reveal information or induce specific changes in the environment. Can you imagine, honestly, if everybody did magic to heal people, to heal themselves? Or to specifically change the environment, to specifically say, I don't like this guy who is doing this, so I'm going to perform magic and I'm going to get him hot. And so you go and you do your magical spells and you do what you have to do, but it doesn't work. How do you feel? How would you feel with performing all these magical things, this magic, trying to get the trying to get your answers or trying to get rid of a problem, and it doesn't work. Then what? And you keep trying and you keep trying and you keep trying, and nothing happens. And then you start getting mad. Why isn't my magic working? And then all of a sudden, you do what you need to do. You go all out. You do the biggest spells in the world or whatever, the biggest magic stuff in the world to get your wish. And it never happens. Then you go nuts. You don't go nuts. That's not a good answer to say. That's nothing nice to say. But you do everything you can magically to make something happen, but it doesn't happen. It happened to me when I did some magic spells 20, 30 years ago. It didn't happen to me. And yeah, I got into a big depression. Oh yeah, I was suicidal. Yes, I was. But you know what changed my life? Here's what changed my life was my paranormal investigating. When I started to investigate the paranormal, that's when my life changed. Joni says if it doesn't work, then it wasn't meant to be. Yes, Joni, and that's true. Joni says maybe we still have something to learn. And Joni hit the nail on the head right there. Or the head on the nail, whatever it's called. Maybe we need to still learn. And say like learning about the dude that's not good, he's a bastard, the whole 9 yards. And you try everything in the world to get rid of him through magic. Okay. And maybe the universe is trying to tell you, no, you need to have this guy around to have that lesson for you. You know? Maybe that's the deal. And Joni hit it right on the head. Maybe we still have something to learn. Of all the magic that you can do, and it does not work, maybe we still have something to learn. And the final in Real Beliefs is that witchcraft and occult practices. This category of magic often involves specific rituals, charms, and incantations intended to effect change. Does it? Not all the time. Not all the time. So, who knows? And yes, I know a lot of people who are Wiccan, who are witches that are in covens, and they're good people, but they also, do spells. But I do not go up to them and ask them, well, did it work? Because it's none of my business if it worked or not. Plus, the girls will get mad. But we're getting really close to the end of the show here. And I hope everyone got a little bit of knowledge out of this about magic. I know I sure did. It feels good to hear different feedback from other people. And that really, really makes me, that made me feel good. And the kind things that Jessica said really made my heart felt very, very nice. If you can, please say a couple prayers for me tonight. Keep me in your prayers and thoughts. Tomorrow, I do go in for a biopsy on my lungs because there are two spots on my lung. and they are growing. So, am I depressed? Yes. Am I having a hard time dealing with this? Yes. So if you could just keep me in your thoughts and prayers, I would surely appreciate it. So that was tonight's show. It's all on magic. Don't forget, this Sunday coming up, CL is going to be on the show again tonight on Sunday night. And she's actually going to do a reading, a drawing reading live on the show. And I'm really, really looking forward to that. So if you're not doing anything Sunday night, 8:10 to 9:10 p.m., come on to my show Into the Night and watch CL do her readings, her drawing reading. I think that's going to be a very, very interesting show. Children, if you can, please go to your parents, give them a hug, and tell them that you love them. And parents, please go to your children, give them a hug, and tell them that you love them. And if you have no parents and if you have no children, find somebody, give them a hug, and tell them that you love them. Because those 3 words, I love you, go a long way. And everybody, we need love today. And on that note, good night. Have a good week. And I will see you Sunday night.